Welcome back to another edition of Easy Eats for Everyone. I'm Chef Stephanie, your culinary arts manager, and today we're going to be making some dinner rolls. Before we get started, go ahead and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, pull up your hair, and if you can't social distance, wear a mask. Today the ingredients you'll be needing is 1 tablespoon of active yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, half a cup of milk, 1 whole cup of water, and then I have 3.5 cups of flour here, and a little bit of extra flour for when we roll this out. You're going to need it just so that it doesn't stick. As far as utensils, you're going to need some measuring cups and measuring spoons, a whisk, a spatula, and a 9x13 baking dish. First step is going to be combining our wet ingredients. So I have our melted butter here. We're going to pour in our 1 cup of water. We're also going to pour in our half cup of milk and our honey, and we're going to whisk this together. Once it is completely whisked, we are going to heat it up to 110 degrees. Now, you can either do that on the stove or you can just throw it in the microwave. If you throw it in the microwave, it's going to be in there for about a minute, and that should give you the perfect temperature. So you're just going to go ahead and whisk everything on up together. And we are going to throw this in the microwave for 1 minute. So while my mixture was in the microwave, I also went ahead and preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Now that our liquids are done in the 1 minute microwave, we are going to go ahead and take our 1 tablespoon of active yeast, and we're going to just sprinkle it along the top here. And once all of it is in there, you can just go ahead and give it a nice little whisk, or you could just use a fork. And this yeast is going to activate, and it's going to start to foam. So we're going to leave this for 5 minutes, and you're going to see it's going to start to bubble up, it's going to start to foam, and it's going to start to expand and get bigger. Those are all good things. Those are all things that we want to be happening. So we're just going to leave this be for 5 minutes. All right, our 5 minutes has passed. You're going to notice that your liquid mixture has risen. It has gotten pretty foamy on top. There's bubbles. That is very good. That is exactly what we want to see. We're going to leave that for just another second. We're going to take our 3.5 cups of flour, and we are going to add our 1 teaspoon of salt in there. And just go ahead and give it a whisk to combine everything. And then the next step we're going to do is we're going to mix everything together. So we're going to be pouring our liquid ingredients into our dry ingredients, and we're going to mix them together to form our batter. You're going to want to use a spatula for this. If you use the whisk, it's just going to get pretty caught in there and get pretty messy, and we don't want that. So you're just going to go ahead and mix everything together, and once your liquid and your dry ingredients mix together, it's going to create a dough, and everything's going to start to stick to itself. So just keep on mixing until everything starts to form into a ball. So once everything is mixed together, you're going to see that our dough has formed a ball. Perfect. What you're going to do is, I put some parchment down just to make less of a mess, but if you're at home, you got your counter, feel free to make a mess. I have some extra flour here, and I'm just going to sprinkle some down so that my dough doesn't stick to my surface. And I'm going to take this out and just put it on my floured surface and add a little bit more flour on the top. You want to be careful not to add too much flour, or else your dough is just not going to be the consistency that you want it to. So you can add up to half a cup more flour to your dough. So just do a little bit of sprinkling. Don't pour a whole bunch on there. It's just not going to be what you want. So to knead this by hand, you're going to go ahead and spread it out a little bit. When you're kneading, you want to use the heels of your hands, or the nice flat part. You don't want to use your fingertips. So we're going to start by taking this outside and folding it in towards our body. And we're going to go ahead and push down on it some. And then we're going to go ahead and fold it from left to right or right to left, just kind of like you're turning the page of a book. And knead some more. And you're going to continue to repeat this process for about 5 minutes. If your dough starts to stick to the paper like mine is right now, you're just going to go ahead and put a little bit more flour down. We don't want it to be sticking to the paper. And you're just going to be repeating this process for about 5 minutes. until your dough is completely kneaded through. If you have a stand mixer, you can go ahead and put your dough in the stand mixer with the hook attachment. And same thing, you would just turn that on for about 5 minutes as well. So I'm going to keep kneading, and we'll see you in 5. Our 5 minutes has gone by. This is done being kneaded. You'll notice that it's just a little bit sticky, but it's kind of like pizza dough if you've ever played with pizza dough. So once you are done kneading, you're going to put it right back into your bowl, and you're going to just get a damp cloth, and we're going to go ahead, or a paper towel if you don't have a cloth. We're going to go ahead and cover it up, and our bread is going to take a little 15-minute nap. So we will see you back in 15 minutes. All right, now that our 15 minutes is up, we are going to go ahead and take that cloth off, and our dough has expanded quite a bit, which is perfect. That's what you want. So you're going to go ahead and take it out of your bowl, and we're going to cut it into 15 even pieces. Now, it's kind of hard to get 15 even ones, but we're going to try. I like to use a pizza cutter. I feel like it cuts the easiest. So we're just going to go ahead, and I'm going to do kind of 3 rows and then 5 the other way to get 15. So I've got 3 rows of 5. And once you have all of your pieces, you're just going to go ahead and roll them into a ball. And you're going to go ahead and make sure that they're all even. So this one is, a decent size, but this piece got cut really, really small. So I'm just going to take some from another one to make up for it. You want them all to be as close to the same size as you can possibly get them. So do your best. If you have to steal from some to, mix with other ones, totally fine. What you're also going to do is you're going to take some nonstick cooking spray and go ahead and spray your pan. And once you roll all of your balls of dough, you're going to go ahead and just set them into your baking sheet and fill the whole sheet. All right, once you've rolled all of your balls of dough and put them into your greased baking sheet, we're going to go ahead and take that damp towel and lay it right back over the top. And we are going to let them rest for 15 more minutes. All right, our 15 minutes is up. Our rolls have been sitting underneath our damp cloth. So we can go ahead and remove the cloth. You're going to see that they have risen a little bit. That's perfect. We're going to go ahead and put them in our 400-degree oven for 15 minutes. So we will see you in 15. All right, our 15-minute timer is up and our rolls are ready. When you take them out of the oven, make sure you always use an oven mitt, and you'll notice that they're a nice golden brown color. This is exactly the way you want them. Make sure to wait a couple minutes before you enjoy them because they are going to be very hot. And enjoy those rolls. Thank you for coming to another edition of Easy Eats for Everyone, where cooking should be easy and fun for everyone. We'll see you next time.